Wait. This isn't new.
Everybody has their first game, and I was lucky enough for mine to be
Pac-Man World 2 on the original Xbox.
But the second game I ever played was New Super Mario Bros. This is my original copy of the game. As you can see, it's missing its label because of an incident where I spilled chocolate milk on the cartridge, so now it only works half the time. I severely dread the day it stops working.
Yeah, I don't have that much going on right now.
It was a breath of fresh air for the Mario series after countless 3D titles. Finally, a new 2D game in the series. People surely must like this one, right? Right? Well, over the years, New Super Mario Bros. Has garnered not so good of a reputation. It's never usually looked back at as a classic or a good game. People just often forget this one happened. I've always looked back on the game fondly, but after seeing what some people have said about the game, I started to get worried that my nostalgia was getting in the way of seeing how this game truly is, and that it wasn't as good as I remember it being, so... Is it?
I am extremely biased.
2 years after first being shown at Nintendo DS's reveal, New Super Mario Bros. Released to pretty positive reviews. People were happy that there was a new 2D Super Mario game, and despite being relatively short, was packed with loads of content to keep people entertained for a while. It had almost everything people could have asked for a new 2D Mario game, so why do people not care about it anymore? Well, a few things, but before I get into those, let's talk about this game's music. This soundtrack is pretty good. They really hit it out of the park in my opinion. I wouldn't say I'm really that anal about music in games, but it definitely holds a great purpose in setting the mood for games and fitting the whole atmosphere. My only main gripe about the soundtrack is that they overuse some of the tracks a bit. Like, they didn't even bother making a song for the snow levels, and I can only listen to that same godforsaken Overworld theme so many times before ending it all. But that's about it. A few standout tracks to me are Beach Overworld, World 7, and Versus Mode Overworld. Speaking of which, oh my god, why didn't they bother bringing this back in the rest of the games? Not only does this have a great selection of songs, this is one of the greatest uses of DS download play in my opinion. Basically, only one person has to own the game. The other guy just waits on download play for a bit and then boom, Luigi's tossing me like a salad.
I could have worded that better.
There's a few stages to pick between and each stage loops back to the start. All you have to do is nab as many star coins you need to be able to win. You can even steal star coins from your friend by injuring them or just straight up resorting to murder.
Whatever floats your boat.
I cannot tell you how fun and easy it is just to set it up and have one less friend after 5 minutes. It's great. And you know what's just as fun? Gambling. Yes, not only is there an incredible versus mode, there's also an incredible selection of minigames. There's action, puzzles, variety, but my favorite ones have to be the table minigames, where you play some classic casino games with Luigi as your dealer. That checks off so many lifelong dreams of mine. Imagine wandering into a casino and meeting Luigi. I would piss myself. These are great. They got me through so many social events as a 4-year-old and gave me my crippling addiction to gambling.
I still haven't recovered.
Other than that, this is a great selection of minigames. All perfect ways to spend an afternoon or ruin a life.
Damn it!
I just don't know how they made all these amazing minigames in such a short amount of time while also making an entire 2D Mario game. Yeah, these are all ripped straight from Mario 64 DS. I don't really care that much. These are still great minigames. It's just something to point out. That's actually a trend with this game. See, I think this game was being developed at the same time or immediately after Mario 64 DS, so they used quite a few textures and 3D models from that game to make development time quicker.
Wait, 3D models? I thought you said this was a 2D game.
Yeah, this game uses a mix of 2D sprites and 3D models. When the game's all blown up on a big screen, yeah, it's pretty easy to tell, but playing this on the DS, you can barely tell the difference. At least I sure couldn't. It helps the game run well on the DS and weirdly gives the game some of its charm. Anyways, let's actually talk about the game. Some Mario games have a fair bit of story and lore to them, an idea that Miyamoto isn't all too fond of apparently. But this one? Yeah, blink and you'll miss it. After that, you have the standard 2D Mario experience. Go from world to world chasing down Bowser, or in this case Bowser Jr., trying to save Princess Peach. The mushroom and the fire flower return alongside some new power-ups like the blue shell, the mini mushroom, and the mega mushroom, which was the main selling point of this game and goes incredibly underused. The flagpole also makes a return in this game. After getting to it, you get a nice...
What?
Yeah, to this day, I still have no idea what he's trying to say here. This game's relatively short. There are only about 8 worlds, minus 2 bonus ones if you're just going the normal route. But they're packed with enough secrets and alternate paths to keep you busy for a few hours. There's also these star coins placed around each level. If you get every single star coin in the game, including the unlockable levels, you get... a different texture on the bottom screen.
Yeah, that was worth it.
But yeah, back to the worlds. Each world has a handful of courses, ending off with a castle where you find enemies like Bowser, Dead Bowser, Big Ass Goomba, this mole in a tank. Each world also has its own special theme. Starting off with, World 1 is your typical grass theme, World 2 has a desert theme, World 3 has a beach, World 4 is a forest, World 5 is snow, World 6 is mountains, World 7 is... clouds? And World 8 is a volcano with living pumpkins and crows. Not every course sticks to its world's theme though. You have your obligatory underground level, and then there's just a grass level in the desert for some ungodly reason.
So nice.
Well, that can't be it.
Each level is designed amazingly, though. They're relatively easy compared to some previous Mario levels, but the easier level design helps with bringing in a new crowd. Something that also makes these levels great are the controls. This game controls really well. You have your normal running, jumping, walking, alongside new moves introduced from Mario 64 DS.
Are you seeing a trend yet? Oh.
Yeah, that's about it for this game. The final boss is just Bowser, but he can shoot out multiple fireballs at once. All you really have to do is jump over him and oh, that's it. Again, this game is relatively short when compared to previous Mario entries, but all the secrets, minigames, and other modes more than make up for a pretty standard gameplay experience. I couldn't wait to see what was next for 2D Mario.
Who's gonna tell him?
Yeah, the main reason people don't really look back all that fondly on New Super Mario Bros. Isn't really something particularly wrong with the game, it's what came after it. After the commercial and critical success of New Super Mario Bros., it's a no-brainer that they made a sequel, 2 sequels, 3 sequels, a re-release of the 3rd sequel. What the hell is going on here?
God, I hate Nintendo sometimes. But I just can't help myself. What is wrong with me?